Check 1, 2. There we go. There we go. Father God, thank you so much for today. Thank you for just this beautiful city, this beautiful county, this beautiful state that we live in. God, thank you for all the people gathered in this room. Thank you for the teachers, the leaders, God, the assistants, God, every department in our school system. God, you have placed them in the right place at the right time to lead us the way you want us to go. God, I pray your hand would be all over these people as they make decisions, as they lead us further, and as they help our education system be the best it can be. God, I thank you so much for who you are, and I thank you for your son, Jesus, and it's in his name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan Holbrook, who is the student pastor at First Baptist Church.
Amen.
I call to order and welcome you to the Bradley County Board of Education regular meeting for February the 8th, You can't hear?
I don't think the mic's on. Speak directly into
Okay. Can you hear me now? I'll just talk louder. Okay. Welcome to the meeting, and I do want to recognize some people in the audience. We have Denny Collins, Tom Cry, Cindy Slater with the Bradley County Commission. Did I miss any commissioners? And I would also like to welcome the Education Foundation Lead Fellows and Lynn Voles, Debbie Torres, and Terry Murray. Thank you for being here. Our pledge to the flag tonight will be led by Josh Taylor.
Salute, pledge.
If you cannot hear me, please let me know. In the back, can you hear? Our first item of business is the consent agenda. Does anyone have items they would like to pull from the consent agenda? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Before we vote, because we have Corbett who is stuck in traffic, if, in approving this, could we move items 10 and 11 down after 12 and 13 so that we're switching the order to give him the opportunity to get here?
Okay, so they would come after number 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. With those changes, could we vote on the consent agenda? Miranda, would you call the roll?
Yes, Ted Bryson,
Yes.
Amanda Lee,
Yes.
Rachel Bowman,
Yes.
Nancy Kaysen.
Yes.
Josh Taylor,
Yes.
Vicky Doty,
Yes,
Dr. Jeff Lovington.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
thank you. Persons requesting to address the board on agenda items, Ms. Riffner?
There would have been one tonight.
Okay, thank you. The next item of business is the Director of Schools report, Dr. Linda Cash.
Thank you. I actually have a couple of recognitions tonight. The first one, I want to recognize some of our SRO officers because I witnessed them in a situation after a ball game at one of our high schools that could have exploded would be the best way that I can do it. And I saw each and every one of them de-escalate a situation and treat students and adults with respect. They took a situation that turned into a learning lesson, but not one time did I see any of our officers out of control. I did not see them in any way, in any manner, be anything but respectful and trained well to de-escalate instead of escalate. And I also want to say the relationship that we have with our SRO officers and our Bradley County Sheriff's Office is exemplary. The sheriff and I talk frequently about those relationships don't come easy, but they are a part of our schools. They know our students, they care about our students, and I personally just wanted to thank them and recognize them tonight by having them stand before the board and call their names and it's an honor. It is truly an honor to work with such fine, quality people, and I just want to say from me, I appreciate you. I would like to recognize Lieutenant Jamie Thurman, who is not here tonight because he is sick, probably because he works in the schools. Deputy Bruce Morgan, Deputy Jessica Morgan, Deputy Che Kimsey. Is he here? Deputy Jacob Robinson, Deputy Mickey Young, Deputy Ed Peels, and Deputy Ryan Beasley. If you would give them We do have a gift that is from Bradley County Schools. It's to let everyone know you are a part of us. We hope that when you're using it and you're writing in it, that you think about how much we care about you and how much we appreciate you. So I'm going to hand these to you and tell you personally thank you. And would you like to say anything?
We just enjoy the job we do, and we appreciate y'all's support.
Thank you.
I just wanted you to know, I was ready to step in and somebody pointed out.
Thank goodness you stepped up.
We think they've got it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Would any
Thank
of
you.
y'all like to speak or say anything? I've never seen
No, I
this.
know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you so very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you again, but I do have to repeat what Mr. Bryson just said as Dr. Cash was talking about stepping in. He said from the looks of her, she did do that.
We're not talking about that anymore.
Go ahead, Dr. Cash.
So the second thing is, this is a recognition for our Tennessee School Board. And I want to say that if you will look to my right, my board members on the right, every basket over there has a gift from every one of your schools to say thank you. And from my left, your baskets are on that side over there. There's a gift from every school to say thank you. And I personally want to say there are always trials and tribulations with everything that we say and do, but I can honestly say this board is, I feel, in the right place. They work for kids. Even if we have situations that we need to talk about, we talk about it with respect. And I personally say thank you. I know that my principals and my supervisors say thank you. And we just want to know these are small tokens for the work that you do, because I know that we can never say thank you enough. So thank you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
So y'all can clap now.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
No, ma'am, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is the Bradley Cleveland Public Education Foundation update. Lynn Voles. No.
Well, I'm going to start.
Okay, go right ahead.
Speak. So, good evening.
Good evening.
Miranda, could you
My
turn
n-
that one this way?
Yeah. My name is Chris Anziano. I have the honor of serving as the president of the executive committee for the Bradley Cleveland Public Education Foundation. Joining me tonight is our vice president, Lori McNulty is here as well. In Lynn Volz, our executive director, will be presenting as well here in just a moment. In addition, we have several of the lead fellows that you've recognized, as well as the facilitators and coordinator of that program, and we're going to talk to you just a bit more about that in a minute. But first, I just want to say thank you for taking the time and giving us an agenda item here to speak and provide this mid-year update. I think it is important to come and make sure that you have familiarity with the work that's going on. We'll be brief and respectful of your time, but certainly take questions if there are any. There we go. Perfect. So on this slide, you'll see it's an important year for us. We're celebrating 20 years of investment into the Public Education Foundation, and as we like to say, a lifetime of impact from that from that investment. The mission of the organization over the 20 years is remained unchanged, and it is up there. This is raising community awareness, gaining financial support, and enhancing teaching and learning. In those boxes are some pretty impressive numbers. Over $10 million of private funding being brought into public education. That has enabled over 16,000 students, 1,200 teachers to pursue innovative projects and continue through the grant process. Strategic collaborative partnerships, such as the one between public education and the board, and as well, is an example of how that can be possible, and with that will allow successful execution of this vision for the years to come. I'll turn over to Lynn to talk a little more specific about the activities year to date.
Let me also say thank you for letting us come and give you this mid-year update. We want to keep you informed in terms of what we're doing. We're partners with the schools systems and partners with the Board of Ed. And as you know, each of you has a second legal responsibility, and that is on the Joint Board of Education. And so we feel an obligation to, at minimum, meet with you that once a year. That's required, but then also to give you a mid-year update. And of course, we're available should you ever want additional information. We communicate frequently with the directors of schools, have an amazing relationship with Linda Cash that has been incredibly productive and satisfying. And so I think from our standpoint, this partnership has been amazing. I want to speak to you just very briefly about a few of the specific projects that we've supported and year-to-date in 23 and 24. The LEAD Fellows are here tonight, and I'll be more specific about that program in just a minute. About $90,000 is invested by 2 significant donors into that program for this year. Teacher grants, that is an ongoing process. Again, we budgeted $62,000 for that. Telemedicine, I'm going to be speaking in a little more detail about that too, but we have telemedicine capability in every single school now, which is amazing. 9 years in coming, but it is in every single school and making huge differences. Teacher awards, the Lily F. Fitzgerald and the Goff Award, those are given at the beginning of each year, generally about $10,000 in teacher awards for innovation in the classroom, as well as honoring the teacher themselves. Scholarships, we administer 7 scholarships. Those are post-secondary, and so I won't go into those, but in terms of large grant funding, we've done better with that than ever before, and that is because we have on our staff, Megan Ellison, who is here tonight. She's also coordinating LEAD from an administrative standpoint, and she is an amazing researcher. She is a master's prepared educator, so she knows education, but she is an incredible researcher and has really enhanced that process for us. Targeted professional development, this has been gratifying. We have had requests for professional development that is very strategic and in line with the system strategic plan, as well as schools' improvement plan or strategic plans. And so we have been able to put $18,000 into that already this year, so that's been really gratifying. We know that that teachers in the classroom performing professionally is the most valuable thing we have in this school system. And so we are honored to support their professional development. And then that brings our total year-to-date about $395,000. Now, we had a good January. So, you know, that's a good number. Are we satisfied with that number? No, we're not. We never are. But I will say that over the past few years, we've been able to put millions into the system. Why? Because there have been incredible, innovative, strategic programs that you and the Cleveland City Board have supported and promoted, and the directors have had vision for. And so we can go to donors with those programs and obtain money. Donors give because they're asked. They give because of who asks them, but they also like to give specifically. And so those programs that we have been able to support, such as the Pi Center and others, are just gratifying for donor relationships, for donor fulfillment, honestly. And I'll bring one thing up. I know I brought this up to you before, but the one major donor holding the hand of that statue in the Pi Center and said, I never had the opportunity to hold the hand of my great-grandfather before. Now that is donor impact. And so projects that you support, that you see, that you envision, make it possible for us to bring those private dollars in and have an impact on our community and on the schools. The LEAD program. This has been, to use a trite word, but it's been fun. The LEAD fellows have been incredible to work with, but since 2015, we worked with the public education in Chattanooga, PEF Chattanooga. And they had a marvelous leadership program and permitted us to send a couple of 2 to 4 fellows each year. So we did that until in 21 they stopped doing the program. And so Dr. Cash and Dr. Dyer came to us and said, we have to continue to develop leadership within our teachers for the future. And so with Terry Murray, with Debbie Torres and the directors, we came up with a program, and last year had a pilot program, and 15 fellows went through that program. This year 12 are going through. So with the PEF, we've had 44 total programs, and 43 of those remain in the school systems. So that's commendable, frankly. The facilitators have done an amazing job. They are incredible educators, and they have made improvements this year over last year from feedback from the fellows. And I wanted to mention funding. The CS Foundation and the Tucker Foundation are funding it this last year and this year, and the CS Foundation has committed to the next 3 years as well. So that's pretty remarkable. They also believe that leadership is absolutely critical for a well-functioning system. Tuesday, there was a session at our offices, and they heard Vicki Beatty, so you can only imagine that was stellar, and they really enjoyed her presentation. Chuck Cagle came in the afternoon, you know him. He knows every law in law books this thick, and so they were really impressed with his presentation. And Carolyn Ingram also spoke to them. Now, these LEAD fellows don't often have that opportunity to sit down one-on-one with Board of Ed members. And so it was really valuable, and it was fun to hear the exchange. I wasn't in there every minute, but I could hear them laughing and having a wonderful exchange with all the speakers. You see them here tonight, but I wanted to show you a picture of them taken at the opening retreat on Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain. They're a handsome group, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And I know they'll love you saying that. I wanted to mention one more thing in terms of programs that we have supported and that we want to support, and that is, Vicki, you missed one honorary person here tonight, and I wanted to introduce him.
Oh.
And his name is Liam Hawk. Liam, would you stand, please? Liam, 2 weeks ago, was the mayor of Biztown.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And he attended the Monday session of the Cleveland Board of Ed, and he asked his father if he could come back tonight. And I would say he's probably the best dressed person here. Would you agree?
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you for coming. Leon, what school do you attend?
Parkview Elementary.
Parkview Elementary.
Parkview Elementary, well, welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right, teacher grants, and this you won't be able to see real well, but this program actually started with Margot Fitzgerald in Cleveland community, the Cleveland system. And in 2009, with the help of a premier educator named Debbie Torres, we came up with a better way of doing teacher grants, and it was scoring them and having educators actually score them and come up with the award plan. And it was outstanding, the progress we saw with that system. Well, in 2015 and 16, we added team grants. And individual grants were $1,000 apiece, and then we added team grants, which were $5,000 apiece. And what we have seen is not just larger projects, but incredibly more impact. And why? Because teachers are planning together. And they're coming to the program with different ideas, and it involves whole schools. We have involved multiple schools. This year we have one that involves 3 schools. We've had cross-system grants. And so that's pretty amazing, and so we're really glad for that. We budgeted $62,000 for that this year, and we had $115,000 in requests. So this got us looking at what can we do to enhance this program even more. And we've had some great ideas. We're going to implement a plan in July. Last night, the Education Family Committee met in our offices. It's at least one representative from each school, and they have some great ideas and want to implement some ideas so that we can increase the dollar amounts of these grants that we're giving away, because the proposals are outstanding and the impact is outstanding. Telemedicine. Karen Slater and Tabitha are here tonight, and they are 2/3 of the team. Laura is a Cleveland City Schools member of the team, and the telemedicine program has just been amazing. $2.7 million into this program over the last 9 years, and what we are seeing, we've seen life-saving intervention because of telemedicine. For children, we have more than doubled the number of telemedicine visits in the last 2 years. And we credit that also to our partner, Ocoee Pediatrics. They are committed to this community. They have kids in these schools, both people who own this practice graduated from our school systems, and they are amazing, just amazing partners. Next week, we are submitting the grant proposal to the United Way for this next year. So I ask for your crossed fingers and your prayers, because really it is a significant part of our ability to do this program. And the United Way has been an incredible partner. We are, it fits with their mission, but there are lots of asks out there. And so we are grateful for their partnership. All right, this is a fun slide. Jordy and Key Waller have given us space on their billboards for Art Smart, and we also have had some space for some other, we promoted telemedicine at the beginning of the year on their billboards. And we have art submitted by art teachers, and we put it into this format and put it on billboards. And we have parents and students then we let them know that it's going to be up there, and they'll sit in the parking lot and watch it rotate and just love it. And so it's really a joy to be able to support a simple program like that because of the generosity of the Wallers. We're really pleased, but I thought you'd get a kick out of that. In summary, I want to say again that the strategic collaboration with the 2 systems is what makes it possible to bring private dollars into our public schools. And, we can't replace public monies, But the private dollars allow teachers to do things that they couldn't do otherwise, allow innovation to happen, but it also allows our community to buy into our public schools. And that's really important. From my perspective, anyway, I think that's really important. I see the difference in people when they give and then see the impact in the schools on the students. As I said, we're doing some on-site visits now for the grants, and sometimes donors will go with us. We invite them, and they're just moved. They're just moved. And, you know, I took a major donor around a major project, and he said he was new to his position, and we finished the tour, and he said, my organization is going to continue to support you. You know, that's what we want to hear. One more thing I want to say, and then we'll open it up to any questions. I was asked as part of a survey of nonprofits, how do I see our work as a nonprofit supporting and enhancing the community? Well, I might say, if they wanted a short answer, they asked the wrong person. Because great public education is, without question, foundational to a great community, without question. If we want a safer, a healthier, a more prosperous community, then we have to regard our public education systems as absolutely critical. And funding them, investing in them, is foundational. To have great public education requires superb visionary leadership. And as I said, working with Dr. Cash, working with Dr. Dyer has been a tremendous pleasure. Educated teachers, resources, safe and healthy facilities, all these are critical. And so I'm always happy to tell people that this is absolutely foundational to a good community. To fulfill this mission, my board and I strive daily. I have an incredible executive committee, and you'll meet with more of them in July when we have our joint board meeting. Don't miss that, by the way. We always have that in late July or early August. And this is our only purpose, to support public education, to bring private dollars in so we can have a better community. So through the mechanisms of teacher grants, professional development, major grants, significant project support, we're honored to enhance and support your public education system, without question. Any questions for me, for Chris, for Lori?
I would just like to say thank you. It is amazing what the Public Foundation has done for public education in Bradley County. We are so appreciative, and so many things out there that some of us even, and some of the people in this room, just do not realize that you have touched. And the executive committee and the staff, thank you so much. And I noticed on the front of your journal, it said 20 years of investment, a lifetime of impact. And I love that.
Yeah, that's
So,
exactly right.
thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Chair, and just to reiterate, the partnership is extremely important. And what I've seen in the years that I've been working with the foundation is the quality of projects and the quality of grants that the teachers are seeking has improved greatly, and the impact on students is very, very visible when you're in the schools, and the teachers are excited about those grants. So when you are looking to start donating, I recommend that you look at that, because that money that we donate to the foundation goes straight back to our school systems. So we'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is Bradley FFA National Gold Chapter Award, Arlette Robinson. She's here.
Thank you. What do we have?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Professionally, this is my favorite month of the year. February is CTE month, if you didn't know. In addition, in 2 weeks, we'll celebrate FFA Week, which is also in February. As a part of this celebration of agriculture, we would like to once again recognize our Bradley Central High School FFA for securing the FFA National Chapter Award at the gold level. This honor has been We are proud to say this honor has been bestowed on Bradley Central High School for an unprecedented 56 consecutive years.
That's awesome.
This, older than me. This success could not be possible without the dedication of the instructors of the program, Mr. James Haynes and Mrs. Carrie Beth Pankey. They're accompanied tonight by FFA officers as a portion of their program of work that they design every year. These exceptional young men and women are here to share with you what agricultural education is. But before they do, I forgot that Mr. Patrick Spangler attended the FFA National Conference, and I would like to have him speak to you for just a moment about his experience.
Let's go, Patrick.
Good evening. No, I just want to speak just on behalf of this group. I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to attend an FFA banquet, but I would encourage you to mark your calendars for the month of April. I think that maybe the last week or so. It's an incredible event that is led by our students. And but this past fall, I was able to attend the FFA convention. And when I say an experience, it was unbelievable. Mr. Haynes had always said, you need to come with me to convention. And so this year I was able to attend. Just imagine 65,000 students in their blue coats walking through a convention center and running around the city of Indianapolis. It's remarkable. But, you know, when I attend events with FFA, it makes me really feel good about the future in our community, because the way they conduct parliamentary procedure, the way that they carry themselves, it's what student leadership is all about. So we're obviously extremely proud of our FFA group at Bradley Central High School.
I guess I'll start off. I've already been asked twice, where's the live animals this year?
The baby goat.
We chose not to this year. There's a couple of things I want to point out. And one of the things is that it makes my job a little easier is how much effort they put into this national chapter, which, by the way, you know, we earned them prior to the streak starting, and we've only not gotten it 2 or 3 times maybe. So not only is it the longest streak, but it's probably, I would almost guarantee that it's the most in the nation. If you really think about it, nationwide, this is the most active, highest quality chapter that there is over the span of the last 50 years. That's really saying something. And I didn't realize the magnitude of that until I started working with them, and I started having these kids put those pins up on the front of that classroom. It really is something special. They're super hard workers, and I'm really, really proud of them. Even this activity right now is going in that application, you know, and they put a lot of practice and work into this. This was their ideas. We come together in the summer at a leadership camp. We spend 3 days planning the year. And when I say we, I should have said we. They do. It is a student-led organization, and I'm really proud of it.
I'm Carrie Beth Pankey. I'm the new ag teacher at Bradley Central, and this is my first year with this group, but it's not my first year in FFA. I was a member at Bradley Central High School back when I was a student, and we had a really good group then, but these students right here in front of you are 10 times better than the group that I was with. They are rock stars. So I'm going to let them show you what all we've been up to this year.
My name is Savannah Sanchez, and I'm the president of FFA. And I'm really proud of the rich history behind Bradley FFA, which would not be possible without your support. We brought gift bags for you guys from our past year's travels when we received our 56th consecutive National Chapter Gold Emblem Award from Indianapolis. Like we said before, that's the longest streak in the nation, and we're really proud of that. My favorite and most proud part this year happened this week, actually, when we found out we're going to be recognized for a 10% membership increase for the third year in a row with a total of 201 members.
That's
My name's Kylie West. I'm the Bradley Central FFA's reporter, and I've been involved in many of the activities that we're able to participate in due to our chapter being very active. But so far, my favorite has been our FFA Lifestyle program. Over this past semester, I raised a market hog here on campus from weaning age to her slaughter date, and it was a very amazing experience. I came every weekend to feed and train her, and then I took her to Knoxville, Tennessee, and showed her in the regional competition, and placed second in our market hog division. And tonight, at the conclusion of this event, we'll give you some of the sausage from that project.
So my name is Caden Doty, and I am the chapter's treasurer. And I'm not only the treasurer of the chapter, but I'm also one of the leaders in our greenhouses. And that is just one of my favorite things. I've been doing that for the last 2 years here at Bradley. So I'm a junior, so I started 2 years ago. And one of my favorite things is starting the germination process of the seeds, which we just started this week. And so with that, we will have, our seeds will start coming in 6 weeks, which is April. That'll be the start of our greenhouse sales. Like today, we just started germinating some early jalapeno peppers. And so those will be ready in April when our sale starts. And those hours will be all through the school hours. So by the time school starts, the school ends, we're open. And then every Saturday through that. And so with the 10% member increase, I thought it'd be a great idea. In your gift baskets, there will be 10% discounts in our greenhouse. So come see us and get them.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Come on.
My name's Jalen Drew, and I was lucky enough as a freshman to be a committee chair. And I was also fortunate enough to go to the national convention where we went to Fair Oaks Farm and seen some of the most cattle in the nation. And then we went to Goat Milk Farms where we seen how soap bars got made out of goat milk, and I love that fate and all the opportunities I can get.
awesome.
My name is Luke Millian. Agriculture is one of the top industries in Tennessee. Agriculture isn't just made up of a few large corporations with thousands of workers. It is also made up of many small companies and businesses. My FFA bragging point is my SAE, which is lawn care. In y'all's gift baskets, I have placed one of my lawn care business cards. Give me a call if you need your lawn.
Thank you.
My name is Layla Browder, and I got the privilege to go on FFA Day to the local cannery, and there were some wonderful people there that taught us how to can applesauce, jam, and salsa, which are provided in your gift bags. And the wonderful people there taught us the food safety and how to can those three things, which was very cool.
I'm Taylor Williams. I'm our FFA secretary. I accompanied Layla for the cannery. It's Bradley County Cannery. And I had no clue that it was one of the very few public canneries in the nation. So I was very excited to attend. Like she said, we did applesauce, jam, and salsa. And we have some food in gift baskets. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. And thank you guys for coming. We don't always get in the schools to see the kids, so I'm glad you brought the kids to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you bring the baby goat next year?
Okay, I think Arlette Robinson's going to stay with us because now we're on to the TriCaster bid.
So, as with all technology, updating is necessary, and through the Innovative School Model Grant, we have funding to update our TriCaster. These are located in our audiovisual programs of study at Bradley Central High School and at Walker Valley High School. A TriCaster merges live broadcasting, switching, broadcast graphics, virtual sets, special effects, audio mixing, recording, social media publishing, and web streaming all into one box, all into one integrated compact system. That's why it costs so much. If you have enjoyed streaming ball games, interviews, the Spiel, Vox, broadcasting, or during the pandemic, if you viewed any of our programs produced by the two high schools, then you've experienced the work of a TriCaster. If you've been watching any of our streaming events and you've experienced technical difficulties, we're hoping these updated TriCasters are going to help that. So, Gwen Schroyer and Ethan Evers sent the bid package to multiple distribution companies. Two of the companies bid on the package. Both AV instructors reviewed the bids. We are recommending the Amatrace package. The additional features of the Amatrace package include a 2-stripe control panel. Marshall Graphics only quoted a 1-stripe control panel without going into a lot of detail. The difference will allow more information input into the system, having a 2-stripe control versus a 1-stripe control, and it'll allow for more complicated production processes. Amatrace and Marshall both offered in-person training for the instructors. However, Amatrace offers an additional online library which can be used by our instructors to review the training, but it also can be used for our student users. So that is the difference between these two products, and that's why we are recommending Amatrace. Do I have any questions?
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the bid for the audio-visual TriCasters for Bradley Central and Walker Valley?
I make a motion.
Have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Where's the money coming from?
Innovative School Model Grant.
You might have said that, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it is the one that the governor gave us.
Any other questions? Miranda, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Amanda Lee.
Yes.
Dr. Jeff Lovingood.
Yes.
Vicky Beatty.
Yes.
Josh Taylor.
Yes.
Nancy Cason.
Yes.
Rachel Goins.
Yes.
Ted Bryson.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item will be the ABM contract extension, Johnny Mull.
Obstacle course to get through there. Good evening. What I'm here for is, it became apparent maybe a month or so ago that when we bid the Pie Center out, you can't usually do a 1-year contract, it's 2 or more. So we bid that for 2. We thought that had coincided with the end of ABM's contract that we have for the remaining schools. It did not. They're different by year. So I went to Dr. Cash and said, this could be a complication if we go through the bid process and somebody gets a bid and it's not ABM. ABM's in Pie Center, this other group's another, and competing groups in the building is not a good thing. So I asked about if we could possibly just extend, same contract, extend it, which is, you have a copy, page 3, item 6. The only change would be, instead of it ending on March 31st, 2024, May 31st. It will end on May 31st of 2025. That's the only issue. And that way, when we do the bid process next year, they'll all be in the same bid.
Do I have a motion to approve the ABM contract extension for 1 year?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any questions? Miranda, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Bryson.
Yes.
Dr. Lovingood.
Yes.
Ms. Lee.
Yes.
Ms. Cason?
Yes.
Ms. Beatty?
Yes.
Ms. Goins?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Mull.
Thank you.
Our next business item is bus disposal. Terry McElhaney.
We lose him.
He felt
The coop.
Do what?
He fled the coop.
We'll wait and see if he comes back.
A bus got him.
That's okay. Welcome.
Dealing with bus issues.
Oh, well, it's appropriate then for your line item here.
Board, tonight I come to seek approval to be able to retire 3 special ed buses that have reached their 15-year limits for the state of Tennessee. Those 3 buses, once I get approval, will go on the website to be sold and the money to be collected for Bradley County Schools.
Okay, do I have a motion to sell 3 special education buses due to reaching the maximum 15-year service limit?
Yes.
I make a motion that we retire the 3 special ed buses.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Miranda, will you call the roll?
Yes. Rachel Goins?
Yes.
Vicky Beatty?
Yes.
Amanda Lee?
Yes.
Ted Bryson?
Yes.
Dr. Jeff Lovingood?
Yes.
Nancy Cason?
Yes.
Josh Taylor?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank
y'all
you.
so much.
Do we have our people for going back, or do you want me to do the announcements?
No, I can, if, I don't believe Corbett is here.
Yeah, she's about 5 minutes out.
Okay,
You'll-
let's, let's go ahead, Kyle, if, or Ms. Beatty, Chairman Beatty, if we could begin not with the Walker Valley bleachers and have Kyle just come and field questions or introduce, and then by that time, we should be back for the other one, if that's okay with you.
Okay, we're starting with Walker Valley bleachers.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, okay.
So Walker Valley bleachers, obviously, we know that some visitor side room is needed after the Bradley Central game. I know I was there. That said, we have been looking, we went to Meigs County, took a look at some new things that they just did. I think Dr. Cash had some conversation at the board retreat with the team of folks that did those. And we went up and talked to their folks there. Basically, what you have, and I believe Miranda went out to the board of what we've found to be the case, pricing wise, and what that gets us is currently we've got 1,000 existing capacity based on the measurements on the visitor side. The number that you see there gets us 800 additional seats. Please keep in mind, we also added some things at the, in the scope to ensure that site prep as well as relocation of track infrastructure would also be addressed. These bleachers are contiguous, so they're running pretty much the same height and the same style, the I-beam style, as what is currently there. So it's just an add-on extensions. You'll also see the distance spans are 33 feet. With that said, that would go on each side. They did not recommend to go less than that 33 feet because you would get into having additional costs because you're getting into something that's not prefab spec. You're going to have to get into further engineering and whatnot. So they said you're better off to do it within those spans, and that number starts with 800, and then if you have the appetite to do 1,600, then that's kind of the next growth point with another 33 feet. And obviously we're trying to keep it symmetrical, so whatever we do on one side, we want to do on the other, so we're not just adding one side of the bleachers. We want to keep it symmetrical. So here to take questions. Corbett will be here shortly. We've both been bouncing in and out, looking at and how to do what needs to be done there.
And I know that Coach Turner is here from Walker Valley, and is there anything that you would like to say or add to this? I know that you're welcoming the new bleachers.
There's no doubt about that. We've needed them for a long time. And this year at the Bradley, the Bradley game, that would probably be, not the worst time of any time we've had, you know, because I think the fans have to be on the track, and it's just, you know, we just need more space, and that's, you know, we appreciate that. Yes, sir.
If we put the bleachers up there, can we get those people off the track? That are, you know,
That's a
that are
good
sitting
question.
down on the track?
Well, are you talking, you know, you got, sometimes you get, you talking about the parents and people like that, or you talking about,
I didn't ask who they were.
well,
Just the
yeah, we
additional
can get them
chairs
off,
this
but, you know,
time.
we've got them on our sidelines too.
Huh?
We've got them on our sidelines also, so we, you know, we.
Oh, that's what I
You
mean.
mean just people
That's what I
standing?
mean, but
Yeah. No,
that's
they will.
part of the reason.
I
I just don't think it's good for the
Yeah.
track for people to be
They're-
on it,
they're-
in those
they've got-
chairs.
Yeah, they're sitting their chairs and things on there. Yeah.
Yeah, the chairs does, we also have people that, you know, are handicapped and, you know, they need to have a place to get, and that's usually.
They aren't that, I agree with you, I'm handicapped, but there's not that many handicapped people in Bradley County.
They just
I'm
prefer to be
I'm
on the
for-
sidelines.
I'm for the bleachers, Walker Valley Beach superb, just like Bradley. Want them to be as equal as we can be. But I just know we have complaints about places on the track.
Yes, sir.
And I've got a friend that, he said, well, if you get people off that track, it would help. And those chairs are, that's just what I believe. And they didn't used to be on there.
Madam Chair?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think that has become a cultural thing where
yes.
they can sit on that, so that would be up to the athletic department and the administration to let only handicapped sit on that portion of the track. So I think that would be up to them. I know that, that as we talk about this, I do want to just review some numbers that are in your packet. So your bleachers with 800 seats total with 33 feet expansion on each side rounds up to about $220,000. You have a survey of 5,000, demo and site work of 10,000, foundation work with 20,000, and replacement of the track facilities that would be displaced is 20,000, totaling our recommendation for a motion $275,000 for the bleachers that would improve the seating capacity at the Walker Valley football field.
Yeah, Dr. Lovington.
Dr. Cash, let me ask a question about, you alluded to the track. How does that affect the track? You were insinuating, was this aesthetic, was it the aesthetics of the track, or?
Nothing to do with the track and field sports. I think it's the sand pit and the triple jump are outside of the football field track area, outside of that fence. And so Mike was actually up there today. They were measuring, and he thinks that they may not have to impact them. We're going to see, but it's really tight with the impact to the field sports that are outside of the fence line that are on the sides of the current bleachers. So that's the alluding to the track and field sports that would be impacted that are in budget for relocation.
So, Dr. Cash, what you're talking about, make sure I understand this, just trying to picture it in my mind. The disruption of the track is not the track, the running part of the track, it's the field sports.
It's the field sports, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. So when that game took place, how many tickets were sold over the actual capacity that we could actually seat? Not standing, I'm talking about if they actually sat down, how many above the capacity did we actually sell?
Well, there's probably not any way I can answer that, you know, and give a close number, but our gate is probably about $25,000, and it's at $8 a piece, so, but there were gobs and gobs and gobs of people on Bradley and Walker Valley Glacier that don't have to pay. So there's a lot of other people that are coming in, you know, because of Brad, you know, the county pass that everybody gets, and so, you know, there's, you know, I couldn't begin to tell you how many people would be getting free, so I'm gonna say, you know, 3,000, 3,500.
And how many actually can be seated in the bleachers current?
And let me say something, because I just learned this myself. 18 inches is a seat by the people that are designing these, but we all know that 18 inches is not necessarily a seat when people come in. So I think that it might be a little difficult to even answer
To quantify that.
the seat capacity
Well,
versus
I was
the
just
number of
wanting a
people. I know.
general, because I know not everybody's butt's 18 inches.
So in general, the visitor side,
You're going to sit.
I'm just saying.
the visitor side that we currently have, based on the numbers, that visitor side should seat 1,000 people.
1,000.
Okay? Now, the visitor side is smaller
Yes.
than the home side by probably 2/3. So if you do that roughly, I would say the home side around 3,000,
2,500.
I was gonna say.
That's what I was trying to say.
2,500, and then 1,000 on the away side.
Yeah.
So 3,500, but then if you look at the numbers, I mean, there's no telling how many people.
Well, there, I guess my question is, I was gonna piggyback on, Mr. Bryson's is, if we do the expansion, obviously, because we need the,
There's
we
no
need the
reason for them
seating.
to be on, people be on track.
How many over the addition is it going to actually take care of? Or is it just gonna create, in another 2 years or 3 years, we have to expand again?
The only thing I would say is, and this is, you may want to speak to it, or you know, obviously Dr. Belt, but just from an observer side, being there that evening, you could at least get your band, your student section, and have some visitor seating over and above that. Now, how much of that you ultimately get to and how many people show up,
Yeah.
game by game kind of scenario, so.
And those larger games, yes,
Another
Coach
thing
Turner.
too is, you know, we have a lot of people, when we have Bradley, or Cleveland game, a lot of people don't come because they know they gotta get there at 5:30 to get a seat. So, you know, and so that, they don't wanna do that, and I don't blame them. So it's nice to, it'd be nice to have, you know, enough seats to be able to, at least have
Helps the
people,
game.
you know.
The home team is always gonna have more, well,
Yeah, right.
in Bradley County, that's gonna happen. But what you have, so if you've got more seats on the other side, if they're not there, I'll sit at Bradley, I go and I'll sit on the visitor side of it. Seats are just as good sometimes, but you're on the wrong side, but they're just as good. But I'm telling you, I work at a place called Light Bridges. We deal with handicapped people, or people with disabilities.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, I believe the law says those bleachers have to be handicap accessible and have to have seating for handicap, and you have to make sure. If they ask you, you gotta get them a seat.
So what you have in your packet, the first 2 rows are ADA.
But well, I mean, there's enough seats for handicap.
Yeah.
If there's not, then you gotta provide a place for them.
Something.
But I think, it's my opinion, that there are people, somehow somebody starts sitting on the track and it become a thing. Not for just a thing. Some parents won't be there. If my kid was playing, I won't be there. But I'm just saying, I just don't think they need, they're messing the track up.
Dr. Cash, then Dr. Lovingood.
Just for the board and for the public in general, anytime you have a rivalry game, there's no way to estimate that capacity. I don't think there's been a basketball game, a football game, or anything that I have attended where it was a rivalry game where there were not people standing, because it's standing room only. So I don't think you can ever predict how many seats you would or could need. But I do think this is a good direction for us. It is adding 800 seats to that side, and we have that to move forward on. It does not mean that as Walker Valley grows and we need to come back and look at it again 3 to 5 years, because you're just adding expansions at that point. But at this point, adding both those, I think, accommodates the safety that we saw, especially with the band situation, and I would definitely recommend that we move forward with these 800 seats.
Dr. Lovingood?
It also helps graduation, too. And I agree with Dr. Cash. You're talking about, at the most, 3 nights of the year, graduation, and if Bradley or Cleveland play
And
at Walker
McMinn
Valley.
County.
And McMinn, but I love the Cherokees, but I'm not sure they bring that many people here. But with that, the amount of money that we spend, the amount of money we're spending on 800 seats, I think is adequate for the time being. And I think Dr. Cash has got a great point. I'm for it. Let's go ahead and do the 800.
That's true, but I went to Bradley, I love Bradley High School, and I go to most of their games, okay? But Bradley High School has a visitor side, it's as nice as the home side, and it's very seldom, unless they're playing Oak Ridge or Cleveland or somebody, it's not full. Now, we can't take seats away from Bradley, we don't want to, but it's always been that way, because if you build it, they'll come, and I'm telling you, I think that's adequate, 100% for now.
Yes.
But if we look at it and say we need more, we need more. I'm still concerned about the other, because I think at Bradley High School, one of my best friends in the world was at Bradley, and this shows what I'm talking about. Him and his wife, because she had some issue, were wanting to walk across the end of the end zone to the other side. And one of their administrators, who's here tonight, said, no. He said, but you don't, they said, no, you don't come, you're not a player or whatever, you're not going on the field, it's a safety issue or whatever. And they stopped him from going across. Now, he got mad, but he got over it. But I'm telling you, you can stop people from doing it and without too much disrespect. I know maybe that's a big issue. If you don't think I like handicap, I work with them every day, and I've got a handicapped kid that goes to Walker Valley games with me and Bradley games with me, and it's hard for him to get up and down the bleachers. But he's crawled up them before. And I'm gonna tell you, there are places where they can see it, and Bradley and Walker Valley both, Doctor at Walker Valley, fixed us a place where he can see it and he'd get to it easy enough. And Bradley, Mr. Spangler said, what can we do to make it better for your guys? Anyway, so I'm telling you, handicap is important to me, but.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I agree with you.
So, Mr. Post, just to clarify, the current bleachers on the visitor side does not have an ADA
does.
ramp. It does.
Currently
Okay.
have an ADA
But this
ramp.
would just provide 2 extra on each side?
This provides 2 extra sets of bleachers, 1 on each side, in addition to keeping compliance with ADA that would go back on and, both sides.
So they would still have one of them?
They would still have access, yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the 800-seat bleacher expansion at Walker Valley High School for $275,000?
I make a motion, we approve the seating chart as stated.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Miranda, will you call the roll?
Yes. Nancy Cason? Yes. Josh Taylor?
Yes.
Ted Bryson?
Yes.
Amanda Lee?
Yes.
Rachel Goins?
Yes.
Dr. Jeff Lovingood?
Yes.
Vicky Beatty?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Our next item will be Ocoee Middle School Special Education Facility, Corbett Drew.
Good evening. We're anticipating the expansion of Building F to add 2 new CDC classrooms and do some renovations within the existing Building F at Ocoee Middle School. Ahead of that, we have in your package tonight the survey and proposals for the survey and the geotechnical, which will allow us to gather enough information as basis of design to then at your next opportunity approve an architect and engineers to begin design of that facility. Happy to field any questions. Survey is necessary to in part because that school is so old and there's been so many different additions over time. We need an accurate shot of everything that's there to make sure that the building doesn't interfere with any.
Has it got, I didn't look at this, a timetable about when we'll be able, Ocoee Middle will be able to use that facility?
We're not that far yet. We're getting our preliminary information. Once we get an architect on and we scope everything and have it approved, my anticipation is from the time we begin architecture, probably 15 to 18 months, we'll be occupied in that facility.
And the geotechnical is required, correct?
Geotechnical is required by code. It's good business practice to make sure that our foundations don't settle and we don't have cracking issues in the building later on, but it's also required by the International Building Code, Chapter 17.
Okay.
But
Page.
1705.4.
Thank you.
Can I ask-
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sir.
Can I ask-
Sure.
I'm sorry. So if you do this,
Mhm.
and we interfere with any of the facility at Ocoee, so we have to bring the whole school up to code?
No, sir, not necessarily. There may be some improvements to building F, but there's not an end-all be-all trigger that if you touch it, you have to bring everything up to code. That's not necessarily the case.
So if,
There's some ways around that.
Like you put a firewall up.
With
So if there's an
with
extension of
firewalls and
one bit-
separation.
Okay.
With firewalls, separations,
Yeah.
there are ways to avoid having to make massive improvements beyond the scope of work that you're intending to do.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to try to avoid scope creep.
It would be expensive.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the survey and geotechnical proposals for Ocoee Middle School classroom expansion?
I make a motion, we approve it, long needed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Miranda, will you call the roll?
Vicky Beatty,
Yes.
Nancy Kason.
Yes.
Josh Taylor,
Yes.
Ted Bryson.
Yes.
Rachel Goins.
Yes.
Dr. Jeff Lovington.
Yes.
Amanda Lee.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think now we're ready for announcements. Is that correct, since I'm jumping around? Announcements, February the 12th and 13th is the TSBA Legislative and Legal Institute. February the 14th is a board luncheon at Walker Valley High School, which Ms. Refner has come up with a break to educate. The board will be there for lunch and for a brief tour, and we're going to try to start doing that, occasionally going into the schools and visiting around lunchtime. We'll be getting a tray from the cafeteria, so it will be a lot of fun. But that's February the 14th.
Is that chicken salad day?
I don't know, but it used to be, Wednesdays used to be chicken salad day, so I'm not sure.
Chicken casserole.
Chicken casserole, that's
I'm
true.
looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, February the 16th is an abbreviated school day. February the 19th, schools will be closed. It's President's Day. February the 20th, schools will be closed. Stockpile Staff Development Day. February the 24th, which is a board retreat at the Pi Innovation Center. March the 5th, schools will be closed, staff development, and election day. March the 7th is our next board meeting. March the 11th through the 15th, schools will be closed for spring break. And then our last announcement is by Ms. Nancy Kaysen.
I have two real quick announcements for you. Last week, Josh and Ted and I had two breakfasts supporting our schools. We ate really good too, I would say. We ate at the Ruritan, and then we came back to the Walker Valley Baseball breakfast. This Saturday is the Bradley Track Breakfast at Aubrey's, $5 a head, 8 to 10. So those of you that want a good breakfast, come on out and support that. Cherries Jubilee is April the 19th. 2 years ago, I had 100% participation from the Bradley County schools. That meant every school donated something for the auctions. Can't say that about any other systems, but we were 100%. I don't know what y'all did last year because I spent that time in the hospital. But anyway, I'd like to see 100% participation again this year. So if you have any questions, I got furniture to give away for you all to decorate. So just get with me and let me know. But I really would love to see 100% participation.
And there's no pressure for that 100%
Absolutely.
at all.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Are there any agenda items to be added for the next board meeting? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Great job.